is the study done by researchers of Baba Ramdev for the coronal drug. When that study was done, they had said it in the beginning that in our study, 95 participants are there and all are asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means none of them had fever, none of them had any other symptom also, because this study was done in 2020, and at that time, if you remember, most of the participants, most of the people don't have the symptoms. Okay, so people were without fever, and then in the RCT, first thing we do is we divide the two group of participant randomly. We ask them to choose from chit, or randomly we allocate them to group A and B. So in group A, Baba Ramdev researcher gave the drug coronal, and they also put oil where? In the nose. And the nasal oil drop, remember, that was considered as a third layer of protection from corona. That was given. And in the second group, a placebo was given. So after giving it for 3 days, they followed up, and after 3 days, they measured RT-PCR, TNF, and CRP level, the inflammatory markers. And they compared these two groups. So they find out that in the group A, 20 are positive, in group B, where placebo is given, 30 are positive. Then they continued it for 4 more days, and after 4 more days, it came out that there is 0 case in the magical group. In the group where magical drug coronal was given, now there is 0 case. But in the other group, still there are 20 positive. And based on these two things, researchers of coronal study, they said two things. First, that coronal treat corona fever, and second, it is approved by WHO. So even WHO asked, hey, when did I approved? Because this study was originally rejected by ICMR also. But then after 2-3 months, they approved it. So the main problem was, if all the participants were without symptom, how can you say that it treat fever? जब किसी को बुखार था ही नहीं, तो आप ये कैसे कह सकते हो कि हमारी दवा बुखार ठीक करती है? So that was the main problem. And then there are other problem with randomization also, which some people pointed out. So this type of RCT, which is done two group parallel, that is parallel. Now let's understand what is crossover RCT. There was a girl student who messaged me some 2-3 years back that, sir, my senior are asking me to take modafinil, saying that it will improve my study performance. Should I take it? And I replied that yes, I am happy that at least you are frankly asking it to me, but I have never taken it myself, nor I have seen any study on that. So let's say you want to know whether modafinil will improve your performance in exam or not. So how can you conduct a study on that topic? Let's say you took 200 people for that study, 200 of your batchmates, and you ask them to choose from chit A and B. Those who choose chit A, you gave them placebo, and those who choose chit B, you gave them the modafinil. And then you measured in both the group what is the hour of study per week, how many hours they are putting in study per week. Okay, so after doing it, you stop giving drug for 3 months. You gave the drug and you measured their hour of study. Then there was washout period of 6 months. You stopped for 6 months, and what you did, you exchanged the treatment. Modafinil from this side given to this side, placebo from this side given to this side. So what we are doing, we are crossing over the treatment. And again, after 3 months, you compared the hour of study in the two group. So basically, what is crossover RCT? Crossover RCT is having two parallel RCT. You can see first parallel, second parallel, and in between two parallel RCT, we क्रॉस ओवर द ट्रीटमेंट. हम एक का इलाज दूसरे में, दूसरे का इलाज पहले में कर देते हैं और वॉश आउट टाइम देते हैं. वी गिव दिस वॉश आउट टाइम सो दैट ड्रग कैन गो अवे, एंड देन वी कंपेयर द रिजल्ट. सो दिस इज क्रॉस ओवर because we are crossing over the treatment. RCT because we are choosing people randomly. So why are we doing it? What is the advantage and disadvantage of crossover RCT? The disadvantage is mainly one, that we need more time. Of course, parallel RCT will be done quickly. Crossover will take more time. But there is one more disadvantage. The second disadvantage is that we cannot do crossover RCT in lethal disease. Because if the disease is lethal, you cannot give medicine for 3 months and then give placebo for next 3 months. You cannot uh, give placebo to the group of patients who are suffering from some lethal disease. And all this corona vaccine trial, what do you think? By which method all the corona vaccine trial was done? By parallel RCT or crossover RCT? In corona vaccine trial, did we have time? Of course not. We were highly sorted. We were having highly uh, like very tight timeline, and we have to give vaccine quickly. So if you have to give it quickly, parallel RCT can only be the answer. Second thing is, it cannot happen that I took vaccine and then I went to washroom and did susu and it get flushed over. I cannot wash out vaccine from my body. So we cannot do crossover RCT for those disease in which vaccines are given or which cannot be flushed out. Okay, we can't do it for lethal disease, we cannot do it for vaccine trial, and we cannot do crossover RCT when we have less time. So why are we doing it? What are the advantage? The advantage is, first is that both group will get the treatment. Okay, every group will have the treatment. Second advantage is that all participants act as both exposed and non-exposed, and this is what they usually ask. What does it mean? It means that one time you will give modafinil to some participant, next time you will give placebo. So the same participant, when they get modafinil, they are like treatment group, they are exposed, and when they get placebo, they are non-exposed. So all the participants act as their own control. One time they take drug, one time they act as control. Okay, so the advantage of this is we can compare the drug effect twice on the same person. We can compare what happened when they receive placebo, what happened when they receive modafinil. So they have asked this question also in the past: in which trial participant act as their own control? That is crossover RCT. And the last advantage is that sample size get double. How sample size get double? You can see here. When I am giving modafinil to only 100 people initially, but when I did crossover, I get modafinil to this 100 also, and then this 100 also. So finally my sample size became 200. So these are the three advantage. Both group get treatment, each participant act as their own control, and sample size get double. So this is parallel and crossover RCT. But in both of the RCT, one main concept is single, double, and triple blinding. What is that? Single blinding means if you are doing this research of modafinil, you don't know which group of participant get modafinil, which group get placebo. जो लोग दवाई ले रहे हैं उनको नहीं पता है कि उनको ड्रग मिल रहा है या प्लेसेबो, तो सिंगल ब्लाइंड होता है. इफ पार्टिसिपेंट आर अनअवेयर, सिंगल ब्लाइंडिंग. अगर जिनको दे रहे हो दवा उनको भी नहीं पता है, देने वाले को भी नहीं पता है, if the people who are getting drug participant, they are also unaware, plus the person who is giving them modafinil or placebo, researcher, he is also unaware, then we call it double blind. And if the person who is giving it, the person who are taking it, and analyzer, data analyzer, all are unaware, we call it triple blinding. So which is best blinding? Triple blinding is best blinding because in this less people know, so there is less chance of data manipulation. But what we commonly do? We commonly do double blinding. So I was taking it in one of the class, a student asked me a very good question कि सर अगर ट्रिपल ब्लाइंडिंग में किसी को नहीं पता है तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि हमारी दवा अच्छी थी या प्लेसेबो अच्छा था? He asked that in triple blinding, if no one know who get drug, who get placebo, how will we know that our drug was better or placebo was better? So the answer is very simple. Nikhil, come here. In triple blinding, if you don't know anything, you might all have watched that movie. What was that movie? Puspa. So in that movie Puspa, thank you Nikhil, how the smuggling was done. I asked Nikhil to come because there is nothing to rub. What I will rub here. So in the movie Puspa, for the smuggling, they first used to break the note into two, and then after the smuggling is done, they used to match the note, and if the note matches, they used to give the money to Puspa, of course. So similarly, just like that movie, in triple blinding, first we create code. Like suppose at beginning of the study, when the study is just starting, you created this code at the beginning. The code 007 means placebo and 009 means modafinil. Okay, so this is the code at the beginning. And suppose at when the study at the end of a study, the result came that 007 improves study hours significantly. Okay, so if 007 is improving study hours significantly, it means which one is better? Drug is better or placebo is better? Placebo is better. So we create code at the beginning, then at the end, we match the code. And actually, I think this is the correct thing also. Modafinil do not improves your performance. I was taking this class in Tamil Nadu recently, and there was a guy who said this that also that due to taking modafinil, I used to study well, but I don't used to remember things. So finally, I failed in the exam. What happened with modafinil is you you study for one day and then you are unable to sleep for many hours. And when you are unable to sleep due to sleep deprivation, you cannot turn short-term memory into long-term memory. So actually, modafinil do not improve study performance because we are unable to sleep properly with modafinil tablet. And I want you all to believe on your own brain. This is magical machine. If you trust on it, it can perform the best without any drug. Also, it is best machine. We don't need actually modafinil. Of course, you know that. I hope. So now let's read about one interesting concept which is very tough to understand. Also, I hope you will understand it. That is per protocol and intention to treat analysis. What is this? Uh, I will explain it, but before that, let's come to take some doubt here. Dr. Sutapa Sumanta has a doubt. What is the difference between parallel and crossover RCT? The difference is very obvious that in parallel RCT, participants are followed for some time parallel to each other and then study stop. But in crossover, after doing parallel RCT, we give washout time, then we change the treatment, then again do one more parallel RCT after that. So basically, crossover RCT has two parallel RCT, and in between two parallel RCT, there is a washout time in which we allow the drug to be flushed out. So that's why crossover RCT is more time taking. I think it is clear, Dr. Sutapa. Please let me know. Soumyadeep Sarkar is saying, sir, what's relation with being washed away or not? See, if the drug is washed away, only then we can consider that participants are fresh as new. What I'm trying to say here is that in this modafinil trial, if drug get washed over, only then the effect of taking modafinil early in group B will go away. Na? If drug is still in the body, then the group B is different than group A at the beginning, because some modafinil is already in group B if it is not getting washed over. If it is getting washed over, then we can understand or we can assume that now the group B participant here are almost equal to group A participant here, because now they are fresh. They don't have any drug left in their body. Is it thing clear? So Soumyadeep Sarkar got it. Sutapa Sumanta, did you also got it? Please let me know. Chalo, now let's understand this very interesting concept, per protocol analysis and intention to treat analysis. Sutapa want one more example of parallel RCT. Why not? For parallel RCT, I can give you hundreds of examples. Just tell me which branch you want to take in your PG. Let's say, suppose Dr. Sutapa Sumanta took gynae, ops gynae. And in ops gynae, he become an infertility expert. After becoming infertility expert, he find it out that mostly the problem lies in the male, that they have low sperm count, but they are unnecessarily doing all the investigation on female and making them come hospital again and again when the problem is with the male. So Dr. Sudapa has found a new drug which can increase the sperm count. So if Dr. Sudapa is doing a parallel RCT on this topic, what he will do is he will take 200 people, ask them to choose randomly between cheat A or B. Those who choose cheat A, suppose they will get the magical drug of Dr. Sutapa. Suppose the name of the drug is drug S. And S not for sex, S for Sutapa, like that. And the other group B, Dr. Sutapa can give them placebo. And before giving them the drug, you can measure their sperm count in the two group. Suppose both the group have a sperm count less than 1000 per ml. Okay, both group have the same sperm count less than 1000 per ml. Now, after giving them drug S and placebo, you will do follow up for some time. Suppose you gave them drug for 6 months, and after giving them the drug for 6 months and placebo for 6 months, again you will compare their sperm count. Okay, you will compare their sperm count again, and then you will prove that Dr. S Sutapa drug is better, because here in group A sperm count has increased from less than 1000 to now 50,000 per ml. So let's say this is a very simple example of parallel RCT. Now, is it clear, Dr. Sutapa? Please let me know. If Dr. Sutapa has found this magical drug and he want to do research on this, he will first give a protocol to the PSM department or research department of the medical college. And in the protocol, he will put some rule. There are two main rules which we put in protocol. First rule is, all the participants who are coming in the study, they should not take outside churan chutney. They should not take any Ayurvedic homeopathy drug. They will be taking only my drug. Second condition, which usually put in protocol, is they should not leave the study before completion. They have to continue till the end. So these two rules we usually put. Now suppose I myself took Dr. Sutapa Sumanta drug, because let's say my sperm count is just 1 per ml and only 1 is swimming per ml in my sperm, very less sperm count. So I took your drug. After taking your drug, I had an anaphylactic reaction and I died. But after my death, my sperm count increased because the drug was magical and given by Dr. S. But I died while taking your drug. So if I died, I did not follow your command now. I did not follow your protocol now. You said no one will leave the study before completion. But I left it. I did not follow your protocol. So if I left or I took outside drug, you will remove my data from the final analysis. Because in per protocol analysis, you are including only those participants who perfectly followed your order. So only perfect participant data is included. If I died, you will remove my data from final analysis. It is written also, only those participant is included in final analysis which followed protocol. And because I did not follow protocol, I died before data completion, you removed my data from the final analysis. But if Dr. Sutapa is doing intention to treat analysis, in intention to treat analysis, his main intention is just giving treatment. It doesn't matter whether I die or I survive or I took outside drug or not. If I was in the beginning in the study, my data will be included in final analysis. No participant data is removed in intention to treat. All those who were in the beginning, they will continue till the end. So now, Dr. Sutapa, please answer me, which one will be the way by which you want to analyze your data? As a researcher, do you like to do per protocol analysis or do you like to do intention to treat analysis? Which analysis you like to do as a researcher? It's okay. In the introduction part, I have discussed parallel RCT only, and that is parallel RCT which I explained here also. So Everything which is there in the video is sufficient. What I taught is this much only. So do tell me, Sutapa is an intelligent researcher. He will remove the data of people like me who died, because then his drug will look very good. So as an intelligent researcher, people do per protocol analysis and they remove data of all the people who died, who have major side effect and left. Their data will be removed. But if you do intention to treat analysis, the data of the drug will look poor, but it will be an honest data analysis. So intention to treat is good for public, because public will know that yes, I can die also with this drug. And it's good for public is intention to treat, but for researcher, the better result come by per protocol analysis. So I hope Dr. Sudappa has made a correct decision of doing it per protocol. But if you wish much welfare for the public, then you should do intention to treat analysis. Okay. And Dr. Sudappa has a question. Does crossover RCT is better? Yes, definitely crossover RCT is better. But we cannot do crossover RCT if we have less time, if we are doing drug trial on a lethal drug, or if we are doing trial of a vaccine. Because in lethal drug, we cannot give drug for some time and then placebo for other time. And similarly, vaccine cannot be flushed out. So in this, there are three limitations of crossover RCT. When time is less, when lethal drug trial is there, or when vaccine trial is there. In these three cases, we can't do our crossover RCT. But of course, crossover RCT is much better than parallel RCT. Okay, you all are right. Chalo. Now, after I think per protocol intention to treat is clear to you. Intention to treat all participant data. Per protocol, perfect participant data. Chalo. Now, in the RCT part, I want to tell you about 4 important lines from which they ask questions in exams, prof also, competitive exams also. First line is, why are we doing randomization? Why are we allocating participant randomly? Because one thing is, randomization is something which remove selection bias. And second thing is that randomization also remove both known and unknown confounder. So this is the 2 advantage of doing randomization. It removes selection bias and it removes known and unknown confounder. To understand it better, let's take this example. Suppose this time Dr. Anant Krishnan took ops gynae. Why I am giving ops gynae to all of you? Because I have seen it again and again that male JR are respected a lot in gynae department. And similarly, like female JR are respected a lot in ortho and surgery. Male JR have much value in gynae. So I want your future to be more filled with action and interesting. So I'm giving you gynae. And let's say Anant Krishnan got this offer from an OCP company that if you proved that OCP lower breast cancer, we will provide you 2 crore rupees. So now Anant Krishnan can contact some PSM person like me and say that we will give you 2 lakh rupees, just help us in proving that OCP decrease breast cancer. So what I can suggest to Dr. Anant Krishnan is that give OCP to those people who are between 20 to 40 years. Their age group should be young. And give in the non-OCP group, take those people who are between 40 to 60 years. So obviously, people who are between 40 to 60 years, they will have more chance of breast cancer. And if non-OCP group will have more breast cancer, automatically OCP group will have comparatively less breast cancer. Because old age will have more, so young age will have, compared to old age, will have less breast cancer. And this thing will be proved. So which bias I am doing here? I am selecting young and old people in the 2 group. I am selecting different people in the 2 group. This is selection bias. I am choosing wrong type of people in the 2 group. So what is one of the best method to remove selection bias? Simple. Don't select anyone. If I don't select anyone, there is no selection bias. Like, what is the best way to lose weight? Don't eat. So simple, it will be like this. So let me explain what is happening here. When you are asking participant to choose from chit A and B, then a 25-year female can go in OCP user group, can also go in non-OCP user group. She can go anywhere. And this difference of age will go away because now participant got randomly distributed in the two group. So that's why I said randomization removes selection bias. Now, what is confounder? Confounder is something which is related to both exposure and outcome. In this story, OCP non-user are the exposure and more breast cancer is the outcome. जो चीज कारण से भी जुड़ी हुई है और परिणाम से भी जुड़ी हुई है उसको ही हम कन्फाउंडर कहते हैं. और यहां पे ओल्ड एज वालों को नॉन ओसीपी ग्रुप में रखा है आपने, अनंत कृष्णन ने, और उन्हीं में ज्यादा ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हो रहा है, तो इसलिए ओल्ड एज या एज कन्फाउंडर है ना. आई वाज सेइंग इन हिंदी वाज दैट confounder is something which is related to exposure and outcome both, and in this study Anant Krishnan has put old age people in the non OCP user group and they are having more breast cancer also, so it is related to both. That's why it is a confounder. So confounder is an external factor which is related to exposure outcome both. First point. Second point is confounder is always unequal in the two group. Like here, one group is young, one group is old. If both group become young, both group become old, then problem is not there. We are doing mistake in the study forcefully by putting young and old in the two group different. So the confounder is not equal. One is young, one is old. And anyway, in the world, there is nothing which is equal. Everything is unequal. So confounder is also unequal in the two group. Now the point is, how will you remove this confounder? So to remove this confounder, again, just ask them to choose chit and they will be randomly going in the two group. Because if they choose chit A, 25-year female choose chit A, they will go to OCP group. And if she choose chit B, she can also go to the non-OCP group. So if they are going by choosing chit, then the age young and old will not be different in the two group. That will get mixed. An effect of this confounder will go away. है ना? What I was saying in English was, अगर randomly chit choose करके जाएंगे तो ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा कि जवान एक में गए बूढ़े एक में गए, सब मिक्स हो जाएंगे. और अगर मिक्स हो जाएंगे तो जो ये गलती कर रहे हैं हम लोग स्टडी में जवान और बूढ़ों को अलग अलग करके, वो गलती गायब हो जाएगी. ये कन्फाउंडर का इफेक्ट गायब हो जाएगा, सिलेक्शन बायस गायब हो जाएगा. When we will choose them randomly, this effect of young old age will go away because the group get mixed, and therefore both selection bias and confounder go away. Second method of removing confounder is matching. We can match for the age. Matching means 25-year-old person here, 25-year-old person in non-OCP user also. So this is matching. Matching can also remove selection bias and known confounder. Okay, so we will talk about it, but let's first understand this confounder effect modifier in more detail. Then we will come back to read about second, third line. Okay, what is this confounder and effect modifier? So as I said, confounder is something which is related to both exposure and outcome. Confounder is, this is a wrong line written there, so I was just correcting it. Confounder is something which is related to both exposure and outcome, and one group will be young, one group will be old, only then there is problem. So it is unequally distributed in the two group. It's never equal. It's always unequal in the two group. Unequal in the two group. Second point is that confounder and effect modifier, both of them do not come in the causal pathway. They don't come in the causal pathway. What do you mean by causal pathway? Let me explain with a good example. This two thing, confounder, effect modifier. What is effect modifier also we have to discuss. Let's take this example. It's a very good example to understand this thing. Sutapa, I am telling confounder once again. Don't worry. This is still to be taught. This topic is not yet done. Let's take a simple example to understand this thing. Suppose a boy proposed. And when the boy proposed, what do you want the girl to do? Accept it or reject it? Let's accept it, है ना? Of course, girl can also propose. That will be more exciting. But let's go with the convention. Boy proposed and suppose girl accepted. So boy proposal is the reason, exposure here. And girl accepted the proposal. That is the outcome. Okay. Now in the story, enter common friend. Common friend are those who know both boys and girl, and they can make their story or they can break their story. So these common friends are confounder because they are related to exposure also and outcome also. And then there are some girls which some friend who only know the girl, who don't know the boy. So if you only know the girl, only girlfriend, then you are effect modifier. Effect modifier is something which is only related to outcome. They don't know the boy, they only know the outcome they can affect. Like, for example, they can say something to the girl like, oh, today I saw your boy roaming around with other girls. And you also roam around with other boys. So you will be good together. And so like they will say something which will break their story or make their story. And we usually play role of this confounder effect modifier in our friend's life. I still remember there was one senior of my college, Babar Khan Suri sir. We used to call him Babar Bhai. And due to this Bhai word, he tried once to propose a girl by stopping the rickshaw. Girl stopped and said, yes, Babar Bhai, what you have to say? He said, nothing, Behna, just go on. So she was not able to have any success love story in Aligarh. But then he came to Gautam Nagar and we were in the same Sapna library together. So he was liking a girl, Nazneen, who was also in the library. And we started pumping both of them. Whenever Babar Bhai used to come, we used to say, Ki, Babar Bhai, what have you done? Nazneen was looking at you only again and again, again and again. What have you done? And Babar Bhai used to come all in half pant and all casually. So he used to say, nothing, bro. I'm wearing the same half pant. And we used to say, Ki, maybe she had seen something there only. But she was looking at you again and again. And similarly, whenever Nazneen used to come out in breaks and all, we used to say that, what have you done with our Babar Bhai? He only talk about you all the time. So we pumped both of them. And then on the day when there was NEET PG exam, in the evening, I had a party at my home. And I said it to Babar bro that this party is just so that you can get time to propose the girl. And Babar Bhai came full prepared. 3-5 Sairi written, 3-4 Sairi written. And then there was a big bed in between. Nazneen was there, Babar Bhai was here. And by looking into the eyes of Nazneen, Babar sir started saying Sairi one by one, one by one. After 2-3 Sairi, Nazneen started laughing. But Babar Bhai did not stop there, gave 2 more. And this laugh was full. And then for next 1.5 years, they talked on phone because Nazneen was from Assam, Babar sir was from MP. And finally, their family got agreed and they married also. They invited me as a chief guest. And between bride and groom, there is a place now where they sit, a small kid sit usually. So they made me sit there and they said, Ki, tu hi beach wala hai. You are the person who act as middleman for us. So I said, I just asked you to love. You got to married, and they are now happily married. So such good thing. If you are doing with your friend life, you are a confounder because you are related to both. And if you are only related to outcome, this is effect modifier. Now, what does this line mean? That confounder does not come in the causal pathway. What does this line mean? Do not come in the causal pathway. Because the same line is correct for effect modifier also. It also do not come in the causal pathway. What is causal pathway? It do not come in the causal pathway means even without common friend and girlfriend, a random boy can propose an unknown girl in a pub or in a somewhere, someplace, even without common friend or girlfriend. And even if there is no common friend or girlfriend, girl can accept it. So that means they are there, but they are not necessary. Even without them, boy proposal can be accepted by girl. For example, on all the dating app, Tinder, happen, how they match. Girl swiped, boy swiped, match done. And there is no common friend or girlfriend. There is no confounder effect modifier there. There is no star ranking that 5-star rating. This boy performed really well, except his this thing. No, no. So there is no feedback. Even without them, same thing can occur. That means they are not coming in the causal pathway. So do remember, this is confounder related to both, effect modifier only related to outcome. But let me further clarify this concept with one more example. This actually happened with me that uh, there was this, I am searching for a blank page. Yes, this actually happened with me that uh, there was one friend of me, Dr. Pradeep, not doctor, he's a driver, but he's a good friend of mine, Pradeep. He said, when I offered him tea, he said, no, I will not be drinking tea. I asked why. He said, because once I gave a tea to my father, and then my father had heart attack. So since then, he is not drinking tea. I said, bro, does your father also used to smoke? Was he also a smoker? He said, yes, my father was a smoker also. He said, okay. And does your father also used to drink alcohol? He said, yeah, sometime he used to drink alcohol also. So then maybe the heart attack is due to smoking, or maybe the heart attack is due to alcohol. Why you are unnecessarily blaming it on tea? So now the point you have to answer is that in this story, out of smoking and alcohol, which one is a confounder? Smoking is a confounder or alcohol is a confounder? What is the definition of confounder? Confounder is the one which is related to both T and MI. If it is related to both, it is a confounder. If it is only related to outcome, it is effect modifier. So out of cigarette and alcohol, which one is related with T? That will be the confounder. Which one is related to T? I hope you can answer it. The thing which is confounder here is, what is confounder? Smoke or alcohol? Yes, Anand Krishnan, you are right. Dr. Suraya is also right. Confounder is smoke. Some students are answering no one. They are the one who are completely non-smoker. But even if you are non-smoker, you might have seen that people who take tea and they are a smoker, if they are a smoker, they many a time take cigarette with tea. And there is chai sutta chronicle. They take tea and cigarette. One sip, one puff, one sip, one puff. So that means smoke and tea can go together. But have you seen anyone taking one peg of alcohol, one peg of tea? Like, today I'm not getting high with alcohol. Let's take some tea with it. Of course not. Tea and alcohol is not related. Alcohol can cause heart attack, but not related with exposure T. So that means alcohol is the effect modifier. Okay. So I hope this confounder effect modifier concept is clear to all of you. And whatever you do in your life, whether you pass or fail in exam or in your love life, anywhere, there is always some confounder effect modifier, external factor, which can affect the outcome. So is this concept of confounder effect modifier clear to all of you? I hope so. Let me know. Now, let's go back to understand this second point. First 2 point is clear, I think, that randomization cannot can remove selection bias, and known unknown both confounder. Second line which I wanted to tell you is that when we do blinding, especially double and triple blinding, this blinding can remove researcher bias, but it does not remove it can remove researcher or observer bias, but it does not remove confounder. Blinding can remove researcher bias, but does not remove confounder. What does this line mean? This line mean that, what is researcher bias? First, let's understand what is researcher bias, observer bias. Researcher or observer bias means whenever you will do a study in your future also, at the beginning only, researcher pre-decide the result. And then he collect data from the two group in such a way that he forcefully proved that his pre-decided result was correct. So this is the researcher bias. And how can you remove researcher bias? By doing blinding. But blinding does not remove confounder. Okay. Let me explain it with a very simple example. Let me explain this researcher bias also to you, and this how blinding remove researcher bias but does not remove confounder. That also I want to explain with some example. I need a blank page for that. I am searching for that. Okay. So let's create an example here. Okay, na? Ooh, I'm not getting blank page. I should have put some blank page already here, but it's okay. That's my mistake. I will do it here. So let's say I am doing a trial in which I think that if you are a PUBG player or player of any video game which has violence under it, I think all the PUBG player, they fight more. Okay. And if you don't play PUBG, you fight less. Non-PUBG player fight less. So I have already made my mind that one group will fight more, one group will fight less. So now what I will do is I will go to your hostel, and if any PUBG player is shouting and fighting with their boyfriend, girlfriend, or parents, not shouting or fighting, suppose if they are talking loudly also with their parents or boyfriend, girlfriend, their loud talk, I will report it as fight. And when I will go to the hostel where non-PUBG player live, even if they are talking loudly with their boyfriend, girlfriend, or parent, uh, even if they are sorry for this confusion. What I am saying is, when I will go to the PUBG player hostel, even if they are talking loudly, I will report it as fighting. And when I will go to this non-PUBG player hostel, even if they are fighting with their boyfriend, girlfriend, or parents, I will write it as mutual misunderstanding. So I will write their talk as fight, and I will write non-PUBG player fight as mutual misunderstanding. That means I will forcefully report the data in such a way that I will prove my pre-decided idea to be correct. So this is researcher bias. Now, if you want to prevent this researcher bias, what you can do? Make me blind. If I am blind, blind means I don't know that in the hostel where PUBG player live, where non-PUBG player live. So if I am blind, I don't know which are PUBG player, which are not. I cannot report data in different way. I cannot manipulate the data. So that means blinding will prevent me, the researcher, from manipulating data. That's why I said blinding remove researcher bias. Now, there is one more thing which can occur in this study. That who play PUBG usually? People between 15 to let's say 30, 25 year or 30 year, they like to play PUBG more. So they are playing PUBG more, and because of their young age, they have more testosterone, so they are fighting more. And suppose in the non-PUBG player, I took those people who are between 35 to 45 year. They of course will fight less. They will say that I am fighting less because of my maturity, but the real reason is less testosterone. So here again you can see young and old age are two confounder. Why they are confounder? Because they are related with exposure and outcome both. Exposure and outcome both. So if I am blind, I am the researcher, I am blind. I don't know which group are PUBG player, which group are not. Even if I am blind and one group is young, one group is old, my blinding will not remove the effect of young age. Na? Even if I am blind, young age will fight more only. So my blinding will not remove the effect of young age. Blinding will not remove this confounder. Confounder will remain at its place. Confounder is not removed by blinding. What does blinding prevent? Blinding prevent researcher from manipulating data. Blinding prevent researcher bias, but it does not remove confounder. Okay, and this is which type of confounder? This is a known confounder. We were knowing about it even before starting study. We were knowing that young and old age can have effect on fighting. So whatever we know before start study, we can match for that. So that's why I am saying matching remove known confounder. If I already know that due to young and old age, fight can be different, so I can match it. If I put 25-year person as PUBG player, I will also put 25-year person and non-PUBG player. This is matching. So by matching, I will remove known confounder. Okay. So I think, is this 3 line clear to you? First line was that randomization remove confounder, both known and known, and randomization remove selection bias. What was the second line? Blinding prevent me from manipulating data. Blinding remove researcher bias, but blinding does not remove the effect of age. Blinding does not remove the confounder. Okay. The last line is, what is known and unknown confounder? That is the question which Sutapa is asking, and that is my last line also. My last line is that matching remove known confounder, but randomization remove known and unknown both confounder. So what is known and unknown confounder? Known confounder is that thing about which we know before starting study. So known confounder is that factor which was known before study. Like before study also, I was aware that young age people play PUBG more, and because of young age they fight more. So young age, old age, this was known to cause the problem even before we start the study. That's why it was a known confounder. But what is an unknown confounder? This unknown confounder is something which I discovered when I was doing my JRship at AIIMS New Delhi. I was finding it again and again that all my friends in MBBS who were playing this Dota and other video game with fight, they always used to take beer with them while playing the video game. Or if not beer, they used to make gravity and then they used to play the game. And under the effect of alcohol, they used to keep killing player in the video game. Even when everyone is killed, still they were killing someone. So this is something which was not known before study start. Alcohol can cause more fight, and alcohol is something which PUBG player were also drinking in AIIMS boys hostel area. And this alcohol was not known at the beginning that alcohol was causing more fight. This was not known at the beginning, so we can call alcohol as unknown confounder. Unknown confounder is simply that thing about which we don't know when we start the study. We know it during the study, not at the beginning. So how can you remove this known and unknown both confounder? Simple. Ask them to choose chit. When they are going through chit into two group, then young age, old age will get mixed because anyone can go into any group. And effect of this alcohol will also get mixed because now alcoholic player will go in this group, or alcoholic person will go in non-PUBG player group also, and some alcoholic will go in the PUBG player also. And when alcoholic people in both the group, then the problem will not be there. Problem is when one group is alcoholic, one group is non-alcoholic, then the effect is different. If they get mixed, then effect of confounder goes away. So I hope it makes sense that how can you remove both type of confounder by randomization? Because unknown confounder is not known at the beginning. So how can you match for it? You can match for age because age is known to cause problem from the beginning. So you can match for those things about which you know that it will cause the problem. But you cannot match for those things which are not known at the beginning of a study. For them also, but to remove those type of unknown confounder, we can do randomization. Does it make sense clear? Sudapa, does it make sense clear? How matching remove known confounder? Known confounder was age. I put young people like 25-year in one group and 25-year also in the another group. So I am putting same age group people in the two group. That means by matching, I am making the two group equally young. And if they are equally young, then young and old age different effect will not be there. So that's how matching is removing known confounder. And by randomization, we remove the effect of age also, alcohol also. That's why randomization remove known and unknown both type of confounder. Is it clear? I think yes. Sutapa has written yes, it is clear that how matching remove known and unknown matching remove known confounder, and how randomization remove both type of confounder. So these are the 4 lines which are very confusing if you don't understand it with example. What are the 4 lines? First line was that randomization remove selection bias and known unknown both confounder. Second line was that blinding remove researcher bias or observer bias, but blinding does not remove confounder. And the last third line was, what does matching remove? Matching we can do only for those confounders which are known before starting study. So matching remove known confounder only. Does this thing clear to all of you? Because if it is not clear, I can give you more examples. So do let me know if it is clear or not. Sutapa is asking this question, sir, can there be any chance that matching also remove unknown confounder? No, there is no chance that matching can remove unknown confounder, because unknown confounder is the one about which we don't know at the beginning of a study. And matching is done at the beginning of a study. So at the beginning of a study, when we don't know that this problem will come, how can we match for it? What I was trying to say in English was कि मैचिंग हम स्टडी के शुरू में करते हैं, और हम उसी चीज के लिए मैच कर सकते हैं जिसको हम शुरू में जानते हैं. जैसे हमें पता है कि बूढ़े और जवान अलग अलग होंगे, तो जवान ज्यादा लड़ेंगे, बूढ़े कम लड़ेंगे, ये हमें शुरू से ही पता था. तो हम उम्र मैच कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि पहले से ही पता था, इसलिए मैच कर सकते हैं. तो मैचिंग से हम सिर्फ उसी चीज को हटा सकते हैं जिसको हमें पहले से पता था, जैसे कि उम्र का डिफरेंस को हम मैच करके हटा सकते हैं. मैचिंग से नॉन कंफाउंडर हटा सकते हैं. लेकिन हमें यह पता ही नहीं था स्टडी के शुरुआत में कि दारू पीने की वजह से दिक्कत हो रही है 2 ग्रुप में. तो जो पता ही नहीं था उसको हम शुरू में मैच कैसे करेंगे? नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन जब हम रैंडमली चिट चूज करेंगे, तो दारू पीने वाले कभी पबजी प्लेयर वाले ग्रुप में चले जाएंगे, कभी नॉन पबजी प्लेयर में चले जाएंगे, और दारू पीने वाले भी दोनों ग्रुप में जाने की वजह से ये अननोन कंफाउंडर भी चला जाएगा. तो जब हम रैंडमली चूज करते हैं तो हर तरह के कंफाउंडर चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि दोनों ग्रुप लगभग एक जैसा हो जाता है. लेकिन मैचिंग तो हम उसी के लिए कर सकते हैं जिसको हम पहले से जानते थे. We can match for only those things about which we know even before starting study. So that's why matching can only remove known confounder. It can never remove unknown confounder, because for that we cannot know at the beginning, so we cannot remove them. Dr. Lion is asking for one more example. Why not, dear? And Dr. Mirza is also asking for one more example. Why not, dear? So let me give you a clinical example this time, so that you understand thing clinically also, not just common example. है ना? Does anybody among you participated in corona vaccine trial in your MBBS days? I hope not. But in AIMS, New Delhi, this corona vaccine trial, co-vaccine trial was occurring. And all the people, all 3 of my known friends, they participated in the trial. And when they asked it from the researcher that after doing this trial, do I need to take corona vaccine? They said, no, you are getting vaccine only. Don't take corona vaccine now. And they were being told that you are getting vaccine only. And this happened not only with co-vaccine trial, but all the corona vaccine trial. What was the problem was? Problem was they said they were doing randomization, but actually it was not done. Most of the people who received co-vaccine, or not just co-vaccine, any corona vaccine, if you remember, in the beginning days, co-vaccine was given to young doctors and nurses or health workforce. Why young only? Because if people like me who are not so young, if I like to go for a trial, I need to take permission of my wife. And if my wife came to know about it, that I'm risking my life by going into trial, he will abuse me very badly that don't you love me, don't you love our children, how can you take such risk? So only young people, we can motivate them that this vaccine is our Indian vaccine, you are doing it for the country, then they can participate in the trial. And this actually happened also. Young doctor and health workers, they received corona vaccine first, remember, in the first phase only they received it. So because young doctors and all, they will received it, they had less hospitalization. Why less hospitalization? Because these all were young age, and young age people usually have good immunity, so their hospitalization was less. But the other group who received placebo, they were people of nearby slum area, and in this other group there were people between 18 to 80 year. So there were many old age people also who received placebo and got 500 rupees for receiving water injection. And because they were more old age, so their hospitalization is more. Okay. And when we talk about corona vaccine, if you are comparing between two corona vaccine, we used to compare based on their efficacy. Like we all know, Covaxin was said to be 81% efficacy. 81% efficacy doesn't mean that if you took 2 doses of vaccine, you are having a chance of 19% infection and 81% time you are protected. No. If I am saying efficacy is 80%, 81% efficacy means that the people who took 2 doses of Covaxin, the vaccinated people, fully vaccinated people, they have 81% less chance of hospitalization. Okay. It doesn't compare corona infection rate. All the corona vaccine, they only compare hospitalization rate in the two group. So that is why all the COVID vaccine trial in the world were success. Did you heard that any corona vaccine failed in the trial? No. Why not? If no one is failing in an exam, it means either there is no exam or they are doing cheating in the exam. So this was that cheating which was occurring in the exam. The cheating was all over the world. They gave corona vaccine to young people and placebo to old age. Of course, old age will have more hospitalization, and therefore all corona vaccine will have comparatively less hospitalization, and they will prove that all the vaccine is good. Okay. So this young age, 18 to 35 year, young age 30 year, young age people, this was a confounder here. Why this was a confounder? Because you can see young age are the people who were given Covaxin. So young age is related to exposure also, and they were less hospitalization. So it is related to outcome also. That means young age is the confounder. Now, if you honestly want to do a corona vaccine trial, how can you remove this young age? How can you remove this known confounder? This was known confounder because from the beginning, everyone know young age people will have less hospitalization, old age will have more hospitalization. So because you know it from the beginning, young age was a known confounder. And to remove known confounder, we can do matching. What is matching? Matching simply means if you give corona vaccine to a 23-year male, you give placebo also to 23-year male. This is matching. Matching means taking same type of participant in the two group, and matching is done at the beginning. So at the beginning you can match their age, effect of known confounder will go away. Till this part it is clear. Now when the study was going on, one more thing came out, that because they were doctor and nurses, even when they develop corona, they don't get admission on hospital bed. Like in this class also, I am sure 80% had corona infection when corona fever wave was there. But how many of you were hospitalized? Hardly one or two. Because we doctor can get treated at our room. We know that paracetamol drop has to go. We have pulse oximeter in my room. And while watching Netflix at my room, I can get the treatment. So this is one unknown confounder about which they were not knowing at the beginning. What was the unknown confounder? Unknown confounder was that because they were doctor and nurses, so doctor and nurses, they get home treatment. Home treatment was the unknown confounder. And due to home treatment, hospitalization was less, and of course they were getting co-vaccine. So home treatment was not known at the beginning that it can affect our result and can make corona vaccine look much better. So home treatment was an unknown confounder. And of course, the people who are living in the nearby slum area, they will not get home treatment. As soon as they will get corona infection, they would like to get hospitalized. So their hospitalization was more, here hospitalization was less. And because we don't know that this will home treatment will affect our study at the beginning, so we cannot match for it. So then what could you have done to remove unknown confounder? Rather than choosing doctor in one group and nearby slum area general population in other group, you could have asked them to come and choose the chit. After choosing chit, if doctor got the chit of placebo, he can also get placebo. And if a 80-year-old slum area person got Covaxin A group chit, he can also get Covaxin. So then doctor and general population will get mixed. And therefore, home treatment effect will also get mixed. And their age will also get mixed. So when we will select them randomly, which should have been done, then known and unknown, both type of confounder goes away. But by matching, we can only remove known confounder. Okay. So I hope this second example must have made this line crystal clear to all of you. If not, do let me know. We can match for only 23 year, or you can match for age and gender both, that both side male, both side female. If you think gender can have some effect, you can match for that also. Okay. So matching we can do for those things which you know already from the beginning that can affect the result, like age can affect the result, so you can match for age. But unknown confounder is which you don't know at the beginning, like home treatment. So because you don't know at the beginning, you cannot match for it. But randomization will remove both type of confounder. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. Now, clear. Okay, so very good. Good that you asked for second example, Dr. Lion and Mirza. This helped other friend also to clear their doubt. So these are the 4 points which they ask again and again in objective questions. And I hope it is all clear to you what is this randomization, what is matching, how to remove selection bias, how to remove confounder. This is clear. But we will further read about selection bias later on. But before going there, let's understand this one more concept. What is validity? What is reliability? Okay, let's understand this thing. Validity means measuring the result correctly. Suppose if you say I am a valid teacher, it means I should give you correct data, correct information. I am a valid teacher. Validity means measuring things correctly. Like if a BP machine is valid, it should give correct result. That's a valid BP machine. But what is reliability? Reliability is a term which we commonly used in our discussion. Like let's say if I say that Dr. Mirza is a reliable guy, or if I say so, or if I say Anand Krishnan is a reliable guy. So if they are reliable guy, it means whenever Dr. Anand Krishnan or Mirza will go on date separately with two other girls, not with each other, then they will be precise. They will only focus on their girl, and they will not check out other chicks. Second thing about reliability is it is repeatable. Repeatable means if they are reliable, it means they will go out on date again and again with the same girl. Because if they are changing the girls in every date, how they are reliable? And it also means reproducibility. What does it mean? Reproducibility? No, don't go there. Reproducibility means doing the same activity again and again, again and again. That means Anand Krishnan or Mirza, if they are reliable, they will again and again go out with the same girls. Not both will go with the same girl, with their separate girlfriend, but they will not change it. And again, when they will go on date, they both will be precise, only looking at their girl. So that means reliability simply means giving almost the same result again and again. It need not to be exactly same, but result should be almost same, then we call it reliable. Okay. And how can you ensure that the machine which you are using is valid and reliable or not? Simple method, you increase the sample size. Like very soon, within next 3, 4, 5, 6 years, your parent will ask you to meet with some boy or girl. The same parent which are asking you not to fall in love will ask you to fall in love. Same parent will ask you to date someone or meet someone for marriage. And how will you know whether the person you are meeting is trustworthy, valid, giving correct, saying correct things, and reliable or not? Simple. Meet again and again. If you will increase the sample size, if you will meet 5, 7, 8 times, 10 times, then you can trust on the person better. Similarly, if you want to trust a BP machine is correct or not, valid or not, reliable or not, you measure BP again and again from it, and you will be sure whether the machine is valid or not, reliable or not. Okay? Chalo. And now let's do a question which can come from this validity reliability thing. The question is that you measured hemoglobin from a device, and every good device comes with a control solution. Control solution is something which we put in the machine first, then we test patient blood sample. And suppose the control, like whenever you take BP, whenever you are in OPD, first you measure your own BP, then you measure patient's BP. Na? So you are using yourself as a control. That's why you are measuring your BP first. So this hemoglobin measuring machine had a control solution which has mean value of 10. So 10 is the correct result of the liquid solution, control solution, which is with the device. Correct result is 10. And on 5-day, when you tested the device, you found the result is coming 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5-day, 5 different reading. So if 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is the result, what is the average of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? What is the mean value of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Average of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 10. I can tell it without calculation. Why? Because this is symmetrical data distribution. Symmetrical का मतलब होता है कि हर एक नंबर बराबर दूरी पर है, और अगर हर एक नंबर बराबर दूरी पर है तो बीच का नंबर ही मीन होता है. If every number is equally away like here, then middle number is the mean. Okay? So that means our result is coming 10. Our result is coming 10 and correct result is also 10. So what will you call this machine as? Is this machine is having high validity, low precision? Low validity, option B is low validity, low precision. C is low validity, high precision, or D is high validity, high precision. How will you classify this machine? Tell me. Lion is writing A. Anand Krishnan, Mukund Gupta, Dr. Manisha, Sutapa Sumanta, they all are giving answer. Think more, think more. What is happening here? Correct result is 10. Our result average is also 10. So can you call your machine as correct, as valid? Yes or no? Of course, yes. Because our result and machine result are same. That means our machine has high validity. Our machine is correct. So answer can either be A or D. High validity is there. But is the data repeating itself? No. one time 8, one time 9, 10, 11, 12. It is fluctuating. If the data is fluctuating, it means it is not reliable. So validity is high, but precision is low. Correct answer is option A. I hope it is clear, but let me give you one more question to make this concept more clear. Suppose again you are doing it, correct result is 10, and you are getting on 5-day result as 7, 7.1, 7.1, 7, 7.1. These are your result and this is the correct result. So if this is the result 5-day coming 7, 7.1, 7.1, then out of ABCD, which one will be the correct answer? Please tell me. Nikhil, can I have some water? Then what will be the correct result? Do tell me. Very good. Dr. Sawadip Sarkar, Dr. Lion, Dr. Suraya, Mukund Gupta, Sawadip Sarkar, all are correct. This time, our result is almost repeating itself. So the precision is high. But our result average is coming around 7 and correct average is 10. That means our machine is highly precise, but it is not a correct machine. Validity is low, precision is high. So that means this concept is clear to all of you. Validity, reliability. And do remember, if you increase sample size, both validity, reliability will increase. Okay? Chalo. Now, let's discuss this small concept of internal and external validity. You might have seen many people who are very happy from inside. Happy from inside means they are correct from inside. Their internal validity is high. But they have zero Instagram or Facebook follower and all. That means their external validity is low. No one knows them, but they're happy from inside. And then there are second type of people about which the world know. They have lakhs of Insta and Facebook follower, high external validity. But they might not be happy from inside. Their internal validity is low, if not happy from inside. And then there are people who have thousands of followers, high external validity, and who are also happy from inside. So that means their external and internal validity both are high. Maybe they themselves are also high. Right? So this same concept applied to machine also and study also. Let's talk about the study example properly. What does it mean? See, if you are making the two group comparable, equal to each other, like one group is young, other group is also young, they are young in both the group, then the data is good from inside because both group are similar. So you are using correct methodology. Study is correct from inside. This is internal validity. But in your study, suppose you are doing a study on anxiety, you found a new drug which can remove anxiety from life, but you should not find this drug because anxiety is a symptom that we are not doing something which we should do. So rather than giving medicine, we should do the work. So, but anyway, you are trying to find a new drug which can remove anxiety, and for which you ask all the third year MBBS student to come and choose from the chit so that they can randomly go in the two group. So here both the group are third year. They are comparable with each other. That means your internal validity is correct. Your study is correct from inside. But you cannot apply your study result on general population because general population is not just young age people. They are old age also, middle age also, like me and all those people. So your study is good from inside, but because your age group is only young, so external validity is low. External validity means can you apply it on general population or not? Internal validity means is it correct from inside or not? Does it make sense? Internal, external validity. Sutapa Sumanta has a question, sir. Reproducibility and precision is same? Yes. Reproducibility, precision, reliability, all are same. And Swadeep Sarkar has a question that, sir, then in precision, up to what range we can take closeness? Very good question, Swadeep Sarkar. To decide reliability and validity, we use this a device. There is a graph which decide validity reliability thing properly, and in that device we have upper limit of +2 standard deviation, lower limit of -2 standard deviation, and in the this is central part is mean or average. And if your two reading came outside +2 or two reading came outside -2, then you call this device as unreliable. So this is a totally advanced topic, but you just have to understand, if the fluctuation is too high or too low, and there is two reading which are very high or very low, then we say that this machine is not reliable. Okay, so it all decides based on this graph. I'm missing the name of this graph. Maybe in next session I will discuss this graph with image based question properly. Okay, I also need to learn something, so I will learn it and I will come to you. Chalo. So is this internal external validity is clear or not? Okay, chalo. This part is clear. Internal validity means two group are comparable. External validity means you can apply the result on general population. Now let's come to understand this next topic of random error and systematic error. Okay, all this graph of reliability validity I will explain in next session with proper graph. I will explain this term of device validity reliability. I will explain it again. Focus here first. What is random systematic error? Suppose Sutapa Sumanta is asking for one more example of internal external validity. Okay, let me give you one more example. Let's say, suppose Dr. Sutapa did a study on a new diabetes drug, and for his study he is choosing people who are between 20 to 80 year age group. How he is choosing it? He had chosen all the age group 20 to 80 year who can develop diabetes. So that means his result have all the population. You can apply his result to general population. This drug will have high external validity. But in his study, Dr. Sutapa gave his new drug X again, to only those who are between 20 to 40 year and develop diabetes, young people who develop diabetes. And he gave the old drug, let's say metformin, to those people who are between 40 to 80 year. So this means he selected the two group which are uncomparable. So his study will have low internal validity because two group are not comparable, but high external validity because it include all the age group from 20 to 80 year. Okay, I hope it is clear, this internal external validity things. Chalo. Now let's discuss this random and systematic error in with proper example. Suppose you are sitting in an OPD and a 55-year-old Ammaji came to you. You measure her systolic BP for the first time, and the systolic BP came out to be 155. You ask the Ammaji to wait for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, because sometimes due to walking the BP is high, and you measured BP again. But this time the BP came 160. What will you do next? Will you take average of these two BP and write it as a result? Will you take BP third time and then write the result? What will you do next? You can take BP third time and then take the average and then write the result. That is a good thing. But suppose in the same OPD, I am also sitting a PSM person who have no work in the world, who is totally free. So I took BP 10 times. And I also learned that her daughter-in-law is not listening to her. Discussed a lot of things with her. So if I took BP 10 times and average, whose BP reading will be more better? 10 times and average will be better na? So this is random error. Random error means galti se bhool chuk. Small fluctuations just because observation is less. Because you are observing 2 times, so this fluctuation is coming. If you will measure it 10 times and take average, then fluctuation will almost go away. So why random error occur? It occurred due to small sample size. These are natural fluctuation. Just when the cuff size is not properly fit, 5 mmHg can be less when the cuff is tight, more when the cuff is loose. So this is random mistake. Okay. And how can you remove random mistake? By increasing sample size, by taking BP 10 times and then making the average. But now suppose I am taking BP of Dr. Soumyadeep Sarkar. And when I am taking BP of Soumyadeep Sarkar, his systolic BP for the first time came out 184. 184. So I took his systolic BP second time and it came out again 184. So I took it third time and again it came out to be 184. So why Soumyadeep Sarkar has 184 BP? Does Soumyadeep Sarkar saw something which increased his BP like this? Did he saw some exciting thing? Even if Soumyadeep Sarkar see everything, BP will not go till 184. It can go till 140, 50 maximum. If it is coming 184, it means machine is defective. Not Soumyadeep machine. The BP machine is defective. So what is happening here? Here the problem is occurring because we are doing data collection with a wrong BP machine, with a defective BP machine. So whenever you do data collection with wrong instrument, or during data analysis you do some mistake, or you take young age people in one group, old age people in another, that means you do error during selection of participant, then you can have systematic error. And the other name for systematic error is known as bias. Bias means systematic error. One-sided wrong result is bias. Now tell me, if I take BP with the same wrong machine even for 10 times, will it remove the problem? No, no. Even if I took BP 20 times, the machine is wrong, so BP will come wrong only. That means systematic error or bias cannot be removed by increasing sample size. Not affected by increasing sample size is systematic error, and random error is something which will decrease if you take BP 10 times and average. Random error goes away by increasing sample size. So I hope this Lion is saying that Soumyadeep Sarkar must have seen his crush. Crush ko dekh liya hoga. Yeah, it can happen. Crush can make your BP go very high also sometime. So let me explain this reliability, validity, random error, systematic error properly to you with one more example. Suppose this is the dart. Dart you know na, which we throw to aim. Hai na? So this is the dart. 4 dart. 1, 2, 3, 4. First time, suppose Dr. Soumyadeep Sarkar is hitting the dart. And when he is hitting the dart, this is the center point. His dart sometime hit here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here. So what can you call about this person who is hitting like this? You can say that he know how to hit. He is a valid hitter. His hits are correct. But he is doing some error here. Which type of error he is doing? He is doing random error here. And some natural fluctuation is occurring. So he is valid, but he is not reliable. Why Soumyadeep Sarkar is not reliable here? Because next time he can hit any place. It can be here also. It can be here also. But it is correct. It is going to be around the point, but not necessarily to be on the center. You cannot predict where it will go. So it is not reliable, but it is valid. And there is random error happening here. Okay. Now suppose second time, suppose Prakash Saini is hitting the dart. And when Dr. Prakash Saini hit the dart, boom, bullseye, dish. Then second time, dish. 20 times same point, Prakash Saini made a big hole in the center. So now what can you say about Dr. Prakash Saini? That he is valid also, reliable also, and there is no error in his hitting. And so valid, reliability both are high and there is no error. Third time, suppose someone not from your batch is hitting it, and whenever this hit comes, it always hit in this area. Din, 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 din. Wrong hit, but again and again on the same place. He also made a big hole, but this time in a wrong area he made the hole. So what will you call this third person? Which type of error is occurring in the third person? Random error or systematic error? This is a one-sided error. And one-sided error again and again is known as bias, is known as systematic error. So definitely he is doing systematic error here. Is he valid? No, he's not valid. He's hitting it wrong. But is he reliable? Yes, he is reliable, because next time also it will hit there only. So here validity is low, but reliability is high. He's a reliable guy. Okay. So this is the third time. Yes, Mirza is correct. Not valid but precise, and there is systematic error in this third case. Now, fourth time, suppose I am hitting it myself. I will hit. Okay. So now, fourth time when I am hitting it, first time when I hit, it hits the bull's eye. Saad ki aankh. Yeah. Second time when I hit, it hit the eye of the person standing next to it. Third time when I hit, it hit below the eye somewhere. Fourth time, somewhere more below the eye. Fifth time, now the person is hitting me. So in this fourth case, it is neither valid nor reliable. This is full of error. Actually, fourth case is disqualified. Okay. So with the help of this DART example, I think this validity, reliability, systematic and random error concept is more concise and clear to all of you. Okay, na? Chalo. So now we can move to understand about this bias in a bit more detail. I know time is over, but I am feeling good here and I hope you are also enjoying it. You are smiling and all. So we can understand in next 20-30 minutes about biases in more detail. Although we have learned some major thing, but let's continue this discussion. In the bias, first type of bias is confounding bias. These are indirect association. All this confounding bias, confounder, effect, modifier, they talk about indirect association. And this is confounder I have written. This is indirect because confounder indirectly affect the outcome. So it is indirect association. Okay, indirect, right? Indirect association. Okay. And we already have read what is confounder, effect, modifier in this session only. Second type of bias is selection bias, which I'm sure you must be knowing by now. One group young people, one group old, one group rich people, one group poor people. This type of selection, if you do, this is selection bias. And there are two examples of selection bias, which we will read one by one. One is volunteer bias, one is Bergsonian bias. The third type of bias is measurement bias. Under measurement bias, there are many things which we already have read. Like we have read, in which study recall bias occur? Recall bias occur in which study? Yes, case control study have recall bias. And these two, attrition means loss to follow up. Before cohort study complete, one group leave the study. And Hawthorne means when someone give attention to you, your behavior changes. Remember? So this attrition Hawthorne bias, I hope you remember, we discussed it in cohort study. In which study researcher bias can occur anywhere. Researcher bias means researcher will pre-decide the result and then collect the data wrong way from the two groups so that he will forcefully prove his pre-decided result to be correct. So researcher bias can occur anywhere. In which study apprehension bias occur? In cross-sectional study. So these are the main type of bias. Sometime you can also read about Niemann bias, which we will talk separately. But we will not discuss recall, attrition, Hawthorne and apprehension because this we have already done in cohort, cross-sectional and case control. We have discussed about them in detail. So let's read about first these two bias. volunteer and Bergsonian bias. Okay, very good. You all remember where do bias occur? It means you have revised the class also. We have done this question already, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 question we have already done. So we were talking about selection bias. Let's take a very good example to read about selection bias one more time so that we can fully understand it, because a lot of question come from it. Let's say who want to take derma in your batch. Suppose two group people I need. Suppose Dr. Manisha took dermatology and Dr. Sankar Sharma took radiology. Both took dermatology. Sankar and Manisha, and they both found a new drug, new cream, which can prevent tanning. So, if Dr. Sankar applied his cream on African people and Dr. Manisha applied his anti-tanning cream on UK people, then of course Dr. Sankar cream will look better because he is applying it on African people who are already tan. So it will prevent tanning, of course. So this type of bias where one group is African, one group is UK, you are selecting wrong people. This is selection bias. Now the point is how to remove selection bias. One method we have already read was randomization, but better than randomization is stratified randomization. The best method to remove selection bias is stratified randomization. Stratified randomization. Okay, randomization. And the second method is randomization itself. So what is the difference between randomization and stratified randomization? Let's understand these 2 points. When this Dr. Manisha and Dr. Sankar is doing the study, to remove selection bias, they can ask the participant to choose the cheat randomly. And if they will choose the cheat randomly, on randomization, the two groups roughly become equal. But there is a possibility that when they are choosing the cheat randomly, in group A, which is suppose Dr. Manisha group, 60 people who will choose the cheat is African and 40 people are from UK. And when Dr. Sankar group cheat was being chosen, it was found that 60 are from UK, 40 are from African. So this time when they are randomly choosing it, Dr. Sankar group has more UK origin people who are white, and in them tanning will be more. And Manisha group has more African people, 60, in which tanning will be less. So when we are randomly choosing the chit, still there is a small chance that we can get unequal group and some selection bias can occur. So what is stratified randomization? Strata means layer. You pre-decide the layer that first to choose the chit, 100 UK people will come and they will choose the chit. So when 100 UK people will choose, of course 50 and 50 UK people will go in both the group. And then you will open the chit for African people and ask only 100 African people to choose the chit. So there also 50-50 will go. So what you have done here, you have created a strata layer between UK and African people, and you made it sure that 50-50 goes into the group. So this is stratified randomization. Strata means you create layer that first 100 UK will come and they will choose chit. After they choose it, then 100 African will come and they will choose chit. So if you create strata and then randomly allocate them, then 60-40 will not occur. Then 50-50 will only occur. So that is why strata creating and then randomly asking them choose is better than plain randomization. Okay, does it make sense? Stratified randomization and randomization, is it clear to all of you? Okay, chalo. Now, Sutapa want me to tell apprehension bias one more. I will tell it. Don't worry. So, I think stratified randomization clear. The second point is that matching. Matching is the second method to remove selection bias. What is matching? Matching means if you are taking one UK person here in Dr. Manisha group, you will also take one UK person in Shankar group. So one UK, one African in Dr. Manisha group, one African in Dr. Shankar group. So that means one by one you will recruit them after matching. So this is second method which will remove the selection bias, matching. But choosing them one by one is very time taking. So then you can do is choose them in group of 5 UK, 5 African in Manisha group, 5 African in Shankar group. So this is known as plain stratification. Stratification is also matching, but this time we are not matching 1 people, we are matching 5 people. So matching in group is known as stratification. Simple. This is the fourth method. Fifth method is known as restriction. Restriction means you will make it as a rule that only UK people will be coming in my study. No African will be taken. You restricted entry of African people in your study. So if you make it sure that only UK people will come, you restricted it, then there is no chance that African UK will have different number in two group, because there is only UK people. So then the group will be more comparable and selection bias goes away. So this is restriction, the fifth method. The final sixth method is known as multiple logistic regression. Okay, I hope this 5 method is clear. First is stratified randomization. When you divide African and UK into 100 and then you ask them to randomly choose. Second is randomization. Third is matching, when you are one by one taking them, one UK, one US, one UK in this group, one UK in this group, that is matching. And if you are matching in group, 5 UK there, 5 UK here, that is stratification. And if you are restricting, making upper lower limit that only UK people will come or only African people will come, that is restriction. The last method is known as multiple logistic regression. This multiple logistic regression is something which is done only during data analysis. Multiple logistic regression we do during data analysis. Let me explain what is this. Suppose some of you are yawning right in the class. I cannot see it, but suppose you are yawning because this is PSM class, no patient, so you can. Now, yawning here is the outcome, you can see. Yawning is the outcome. And why are you yawning? One reason can be me, myself, boring teacher, so you are yawning. Second reason can be that there is boring subject PSM, so you are yawning. Third reason can be that last night you work hard really well, and due to that hard work last night, sleepless night, now you are yawning. Fourth reason can be that you had some big lunch, big dinner, so you are yawning. So there can be multiple reasons of yawning in the class, and I cannot change other reason. I cannot prevent you from doing hard work. Actually, I want you all to do hard work every night. So what I can prevent is I can change only myself. I want to know how many of you are yawning due to me. How many of you are yawning due to boring teacher? So I will give this data in the computer and I will give the command apply multiple logistic regression between boring teacher and yawning. So computer will separately tell me that how many of you are yawning due to me, and it will remove all the confounder during data analysis. So this is multiple logistic regression which is done during data analysis. It will tell about one factor effect on the outcome by removing other factor. Let's take one more example. We all know TB can be due to smoking, TB can be due to malnutrition, TB can be due to poverty, poor ventilation, alcohol. But I want to know that how many patients develop TB due to alcohol. Only effect of alcohol I want to know on TB. So first I will collect the data and then I will keep the data in the computer and give the command apply multiple logistic regression between TB and alcohol. So then it will remove those other confounder and will tell me separately that how many are having TB due to alcohol. So this is the last sixth method of removing selection bias. I hope all six method of removing selection bias is clear to you. If it is not clear, let me know. Mirja has a doubt. Sir, stratification and stratified randomization, are they different? Yes, they are different, my dear friend Mirja. How they are different? Let me tell you. Stratified randomization means first I will create the layer that first 100 UK people will come, then 100 African people will come. So I have created a strata. After creating a strata, I give them two chit A, B. Those who choose chit A go to the Manisha group. Those who choose chit B go to Sankar group. So stratified means I created layer of 100. Randomization means then I ask them to choose chit. So this is stratified, then randomization. And what is stratification? Stratification means we choose 5 UK people in Manisha group and similarly 5 UK people in Sankar group. So that means stratification is matching in 5 group or matching in group. So do remember this. Stratified randomization means first create the layer, then ask them to randomly choose it. That is stratified randomization. But what is stratification? Stratification means you are matching people in group of 5 or 10. That is stratification. I hope it is clear, Mirja. If not, let me know. If it is clear, please tell me. Check. Multiple logistic regression. Tell one more. Sutapa Sumanta. Why not, dear? Let's take any example. Suppose you want to know why proposal gets selected. And when you propose a girl, why she select your proposal? What is the reason of proposal selection? For which you did a study among all your batchmates who went to date, and you collected the data that when you were in date, what you did or what you did not did. So they told you various things. That proposal acceptance first of all depend on whether you are proposing in alone or in group. So it is group effect. Never propose a girl when she is with other girl, because then her response depend on public opinion. So proposed in group or single, that is one reason. Second reason is when before proposal, what was your image? Like image depend on your, let's say, clothing sense. Image depends on your money, depends on your body figure and all those things. Third responsible reason can be that whether you listen or not, whether you just keep trying to impress the girl or you listen to them. Because when we try to impress the girl in any date, your focus is on yourself rather than on the girl. And what any girl want is that you focus on them. So that is the mistake which I also used to do in MBBS. I was trying to impress other when I used just have to do is listening. So third reason for proposal acceptance can be listening to the girl properly. So these are the three reasons. But you want to know that how many proposal got accepted due to listening properly. Okay. So you will give this data in the computer and you will say apply multiple logistic regression between proposal acceptance and listening. So computer will give you separate analysis of these two association. It will remove the confounder of the girl group or confounder of money, cloth and other thing. And it will only tell about what is the association between listening and proposal acceptance. So this is the step which we do during data analysis, and this can tell you independent factor effect on outcome by removing other confounder. Okay, I hope it is clear. Dr. Sutapa, please let me know. If it is not clear, I can create more example also. Chalo, now, that's why one trick which I used, and I can share it with you also, during my post-graduation time when I came to AIMS was, I just used to ask the girl, what do you do during weekend? Without even asking their name, sometime I used to ask this question, what do you do during weekend? So if the girl said, I do nothing, I used to say, let's do something this weekend. Let's go to some coffee or some movie. And if the girl say, I do something, like I go with my friend, I party and all, then I used to say, let's do it together this time. And without asking their number, I used to give them my number first. You take my number. Whenever you are free, let me know. We can go to some coffee shop or some movie together. And by giving her the number, I used to go away. And then maybe not that week, but next week she can use me as an option, and then we can move ahead. So this was one trick which can play a good role in your life also. And we should have this. Um, this is a good question. What do you do during weekend? Let's come back to the topic. Selection bias is of two types: volunteer bias and Bergsonian bias. So what is volunteer bias? Does anybody in this group want to take oncology? क्या किसी के बम में इतना दम है कि वो onco ले? Is anyone strong enough to take onco? Because I was not strong enough. Onco has a lot of death. I got scared. Let's say Dr. Lion took onco, and her name is Lion itself. He took onco, and after taking oncology, he is uh, doing this research on lung cancer. Which cancer? Listen carefully. Lung cancer. Lung, lung cancer. So when Dr. Lion is doing a research on lung cancer, he asked the volunteer to come and participate in the study. So in his study, who will be ready to participate? Those lung cancer patients who are in their last stage. So they are ready for any trial. Or who have tried other drug but nothing works, so they are ready for the trial. So only last stage patient will volunteer for cancer drug trial. Only very sick patient will be ready for cancer drug trial. And as a result, after 1 year, when Dr. Lion will compare that out of 100 patients who took the drug, how many survived? Hardly 10 will survive. And the result will come that Dr. Lion drug is not good. But is it the problem with drug? No. The problem was with the volunteer. Ideally, how Dr. Lion should do this drug trial is, he should make it sure that 25% of the patient who will come in the study should be from stage 1 cancer, and 25% patient should be from stage 2 cancer. 25% should be from stage 3 cancer, and last 25% should be from stage 4 cancer. So rather than choosing volunteer, if he choose 25% from each stage, then he can have some sick people, some less sick people also, and he will get the better result that whether drug work or not. So that's why we should never do trial on volunteer, because volunteer are either very sick or very healthy. Like all the HIV vaccine trial, these are done on healthy people. And because it is done on healthy people, after 10 years of receiving HIV vaccine, no one develops symptom. And they say that due to HIV vaccine, symptom was not there. But why symptom was not there? Because all were young, they have good immunity. So if you took very healthy people like in HIV trial, or very sick people like in cancer trial, result will always be wrong. Why? Because very healthy and very sick people are different from general population. In general population, some are healthy, some are sick. So whenever you are doing any trial, don't choose volunteer. Choose general population, and your study is worth looking into. Is it clear, or should I give one more example of volunteer bias? Do tell me. Nikhil bro, put it in the charge. Dr. Lyon said one thing that, sir, is your ma'am not listening to the lecture? I made my ma'am fall in my love with the same trick, man. I asked her also, what do you do during weekend? And then she said, I have an exam till 24th of March, so I'm not free. And then on 24th March, I called her back. So then we went on coffee and then on bike ride, and things started. Then we were in live-in relationship for 4 years. And then she decided to marry the same boy. So we married, and now we are having 2 kids. We are happy, and also I am a promoter of love, because love is a good thing and there is love in the world. So have high hope. So one very simple example of volunteer bias, let me give you. If you ask the people who watch G News that do you like Modi or not? So if you're doing survey on G News viewer, G News is mostly showing news related to BJP supporter and all. So those volunteers, they will say, I like Modi, we love Modi. Modi is the reincarnation of God on earth. Now, 100% will say that Modi will win the next election. We all like him. And if you do a survey on those people who are watching Ravish Kumar YouTube channel, Ravish Kumar is a communist news reporter, and he criticized both Congress BJP, but he's definitely against BJP, of course. So all the viewer who are watching Ravish Kumar, if Ravish Kumar channel do the survey that do you like Modi, their viewer will say like Modi, we will kill Modi, we will hit a bullet on his bum, one bum only. है ना? So they will say we don't like. All 100 people who watch Ravish Kumar, they said we don't like. And all 100 people who say G News, they will say we like. So should we trust on any survey done by G News on Ravish Kumar? No. Because both the survey are done on volunteer. And volunteer are different from general population. In the general population, some people like Modi, some people don't like Modi. So when you really want to know how is the Modi popularity, you should not trust on any news channel survey, because all the news channel are biased. And you should ask it from general population yourself, and then you can know what is the popularity in reality. Okay. And that is the reason why I stopped watching any news on my phone. There is not even YouTube is not there, and no news I watch. Even Google News I don't watch, because all the news are biased in some way. That why they're biased? Because they do all the survey on some volunteers, and volunteers are always different from general population. Okay, so this is volunteer bias. This is a type of selection bias. Now the second type of selection bias is Bergsonian bias. This is known as hospital rate admission bias, and the book, which are foreign book, they explain it differently. Park explain it differently. So let's first understand it through Park method. In Park method, what they say is that the patient who come to hospital or admitted to hospital, they depend on a specialist present in that hospital, and it does not represent the actual burden or prevalence of disease. For example, suppose you took psychiatry, and after taking psychiatry, you became a specialist in treating depression. Of course, depression patient will come more to you. And after some month or some day, you will start feeling that in the world, 99% people are depressed. Depression is very common. And my best friend Ajay Verma, he always think like this, that people are depressed. I said, no, people are not depressed. You are a psychiatrist. So people are coming, which are coming to you, they are depressed. And they don't represent general population. They are a specific population. Like for example, when in AIMS, I was at the sex and marriage counseling OPD for 3 months while doing my MD. I started thinking that people are not doing sex this day. Because to any couple I used to ask, or to any man I used to ask, how many times you do sex in a week or in a month? They used to say once in a week we do sex. I said, bro, you are doing sex or fasting? Once in a week, how does it matter? So I started feeling that people are not doing sex this day. But that was my Bergsonian bias. Because people who are coming to me, patients who were coming to me, they are coming to a sexologist, me. And sexologist will deal with the people who are doing less sex only. So I will start thinking that all the people are not doing sex, which is my wrong assumption, which is my Bergsonian bias. Okay. And this is the same thing which you see in all this thing. Like there is this Crime Patrol, FIR, in every language they have this web serial. In Karnataka, it come by the name of Santam Papam. So in what they say in this Crime Patrol thing, chain se sona hai to jaag jao. What this bullshit? If you want to sleep with peace, wake up. Because your neighbor can take your underwear, and your wife can take your testicles away, and they make you scared with everyone. And are they giving the real picture of the society? Of course not. Because in the real society, 0.000000001% people are criminal. But they are focusing on police case, and police case is full with criminal. So they will say that society is criminal. No, society is not criminal. Society is good. Based on my experience of life, I am saying in the world, 99.999% people are good, helpful, and happy to stay with. So have trust on people. Don't trust Crime Patrol version. They will give you Bergsonian bias version. So I hope it is clear. If not, feel free to ask me if it is clear or not. After Bergsonian bias, let's discuss this Niemann bias. What is Niemann bias? It's a very simple thing. We call it incidence prevalence bias because we have this formula that prevalence is equal to incidence into duration of disease. And we have read this formula while discussing cross-sectional study also in our first day session. So suppose you are doing a study on Ebola. Kaun bola? Ebola. If you are doing a study on Ebola with 100 patients, after 1 week, when you will see what is the effect of your drug, out of 100 patients, 50 to 80% would have died. So only 20 to 50 are left. Why? Because Ebola is a disease of short duration. So because it is a disease of short duration, when we start, many people are there, but by the end, very less people are there, and therefore we will get wrong result. Similarly, if you are doing a study on cough cold also, if you start with 100 people, within 1 week, 90 people will recover by themselves and they will leave the study. So we have less people at the end. That is Niemann bias. So why we call it incidence prevalence bias? Because let's say right now, if I ask how many of you have cough and cold, let's say out of 100 people, 10 people have cough and cold right now. But if I ask in next 1 year, how many new case of cough and cold will occur in your group? So in next 1 year, of course, all of you will develop cough and cold. So in next 1 year, new case will be 90 out of 100. So why cough and cold have high incidence and low prevalence? Why cough cold has high incidence, low prevalence? Because cough cold is a disease of very short duration, only 2-3 days. So if we do a study on influenza, cough and cold, which has high incidence, low prevalence, within 1 week, when we try to compare the result, 90% will recover and therefore they will leave the study, leading to wrong result. So this is Niemann bias, which is very, very, very rarely asked. It's not so important, but I hope it is clear to you. If not, feel free to ask. Chalo, now let's talk about apprehension bias, which we read in cross-sectional study. Apprehension bias means participants change their response when they start thinking about other people's opinion. For example, white apron hypertension. When patient saw doctor in white apron, BP of patient rises. Not because the doctor is hot. Doctor can be hot. But BP is rising because now the patient is thinking that I don't know where the doctor will put his finger in my body, which disease will come out and all. So they became apprehensive, so their BP or response changed. So this is apprehension bias. I hope it is clear. I can give you many examples. Like if I ask it from anyone in your batch, do you love your country? Everyone will say yes only. Maybe next day only they will fly from India to UK, US, Australia and never come back. But still they will say, I love my country. What is this love, man? Is this love or just show off of love? And it's not love. If you are really loving it, you will be staying here. You don't love, that's why you are leaving this country, of course. So this is the point. If you ask this question, people will say yes only because they are apprehensive. They think that if I say no, I don't love my country, even I can beat you if you say I don't love my country. So they have to say yes, because if they say no, what other people will think? So their response depend on other people. That's why they say something which other people want to listen, or due to other people, their BP fluctuate or their response change. This is apprehension bias. So with this, we are finished with all the kind of biases. If there is any doubt, you can feel free to ask it. Yes, dear Sumanta is asking, sir, volunteer bias is included in selection bias. Yes, dear. Don't you forget that classification. The classification is quite clear that volunteer bias and Bergsonian bias both are example of selection bias. Let me show you this. Selection bias has two examples, volunteer and Bergsonian. Okay. So they both are there, and measurement bias have these three. I hope it is all clear. With Niemann bias, I can have only two examples, Ebola and influenza. If I do a study on Ebola or influenza, when we start, there are 100 people. Within 1 week, many people, they die or they leave by getting cured. So at the end, we have less number of people. And when there is less number of people at the end, we are unable to compare the result. So that leads to Niemann bias. Okay. You are throwing a lot of hurt to me. A lot of you are laughing and saying it all clear. Thank you so much. Uh, Anand Krishna is saying, sir, when we will be learn meta-analysis and forest plot? Uh, I should have taught it on that day, but I missed that teaching in detail. So, Anand Krishnan, your wish is my command. Let's discuss meta-analysis and systematic review in 10 more next minute, and I will discuss forest plot also. Okay, let me go and teach the topic of meta-analysis and systematic review properly. But for that, I need some blank slide, and I'm searching for that only. Maybe I will get some blank slide somewhere, hopefully. है ना? Uh, let's see. Okay. Yo. Yes. No. Yo. Let me search for it. Okay. So let me try to teach you here only what's wrong. I have blank slide, white blank slide I can teach. The point is we want to learn about meta-analysis and systematic review, and suddenly while writing meta it become mota, है ना? So yes, white लेके उस पे paint करो. Oh yeah, very good. But I will take next one. अच्छा, this one. But I need one more slide actually. Copy करके paste कर दे. This is tough work. Nikhil will help me there. Wow, dear. What a fast fingering. Very good. I liked it. Chalo, focus here. So, what is meta-analysis, systematic review, and what are forest plot, funnel plot? Let's discuss that. Meta-analysis means you are combining data and result both of various study on one topic. What we do in meta-analysis? Meta-analysis is known as analysis of analysis. Okay. So, what we do in meta-analysis is first time someone has done an RCT and they have found some result. Now we will combine 4 or 5 RCT done on one topic and we will tell their result and data combined way. So do you have any question in your mind on which you think some study has been done in the past? Please post your question in the group. I will do meta-analysis on your question of interest. So what is meta-analysis? It is simply combining data and theoretical result. And many a time student asks, sir, what is the difference between data and theoretical result? So theoretical result means yes, no. Medicine treat hypertension or not treat hypertension. Yes, no is theoretical result. Data means how much BP got lowered, how much serotonin dopamine hormone got fluctuated. That is data. And yes, no is theoretical result. So if you are combining data and theoretical result both from various study on one topic, this is known as meta-analysis. And if you are doing only combination of theoretical result, not data, then we call it systematic review or systemic review. Okay, I can call it systematic review. What is systematic review? Systematic review means this time we will not combine data. We will only combine theoretical result. Combining only theoretical result, not data. I will explain with example also. Combining only theoretical result, okay, from various study on one topic. So if you are combining data and theoretical result both, it become meta-analysis. If you combine only theory, it is systematic review. Let me create some good example to make it clear to you. In last class also, in the end, I was trying to tell you one example. Is there any question in your mind? Does watching TV up close destroy eyesight? Destroy eyesight. Does watching TV with close thing destroy eyesight? You want to know this. So if you want to know this, step one is, if you want to do a meta-analysis on this topic, step one is you will go to search engine. What are the various search engine? PubMed, Google Scholar and all. And on those search engine, PubMed and all, you will search various study on this topic. Like you will type it on Google, all studies on effect of TV watching on eye. है ना? Someone can, and I think better than TV watching, you should do a study on mobile watching, because we are not watching TV mostly, we are watching mobile, but it's anyway. So you find it out by Google search that there are four study done on this topic. So in step two, you combine all four study result. And suppose when you are combining these four study result, there is two things which you can draw in meta-analysis. One thing you can draw is funnel plot. What is funnel plot? Funnel plot looks like this. Here we draw one line which is saying positive association here and negative association on this side. And if there is no association, those dots will come in the center. So on the x-axis, we write negative positive association, and on the y-axis, we write standard error. Standard error is fluctuation of data. How much is the fluctuation of data? We will read about it in biostat in detail. So let's say when you do this trial, effect of eye watching on eye, you came to know that one study is saying that eyesight improve when you watch TV, eyesight is better. And two study are saying negative association, watch TV and eyesight decrease. And one study shows no association, that whether you watch TV or not, there is no association. So this type of plot which come out is known as funnel plot. And I am sure someone who was high, he named it as funnel plot, that after getting high, when he see it from downside, it looked like a funnel. So this is funnel plot, which is combining all four study result. Second type of plot which we draw in meta-analysis is known as forest plot. In forest plot, we draw one line which is corresponding to odds ratio equal to 1 or relative risk equal to 1. If it is odds ratio relative risk 1, I hope you know 1 means no association. So here this one is showing no association. Okay. Now, first study which was done on this topic, it has a confidence interval of 1.1 to 1.8. This is the line of first study, and there is a box over it. This box is telling us the precision. Box is telling us precision. Okay, and precision is something which is directly proportional to sample size. Remember, we have discussed it, that precision means reliability. And if you date someone again and again, then you will know the person is reliable or not. So reliability is directly proportional to sample size. More sample size, more date you do, more reliability you can check. Similarly, if you are taking BP from a BP machine again and again, 10 times, then you can know whether the machine is precise or not. So this, and what is confidence interval? Confidence interval is that range within which answer lies. Like in the first study, answer is lying between 1.1 to 1.8. And we all have read it already, that if the relative risk or odds ratio is more than 1 indicate positive association. So the first study is showing positive association. Then there were two studies which were showing negative association, that if you watch TV for longer time, then the eyesight will decrease. And this is the precision of these two study, 1, 2, and they all are in the negative side. So it's, let's say it is 0.2, 2.8, 0.1, 2.7. So negative association, I hope you remember it from our previous class, that whenever odds ratio is less than 1 means negative association. So these two studies are showing negative association. And there was one study which was showing no association. So which study will show no association? The one which will cross this line 1. Suppose this is study number 4. And this study number 4, I have not drawn a straight line. It will be a straight line, of course. So let's draw a straight line. What's wrong here? This is the study number 4. This study number 4 is from 0.2 to 1.6. 0.2 to 1.6. When it comes 0.2 means you watch TV more, your eyesight will decrease. 0.2 is negative association. More watching TV, less eyesight. But when it is 1.6 means you watch TV more, your eyesight will improve. How both is coming? Both is coming means, see, if by watching TV one time your eyesight is decreasing, one time it is increasing, it means watching TV is not related with eyesight. So this last study is showing no association. Do remember this point. A lot of questions come from this point, that if your 95% confidence interval, which I have showed through this line, include 1. If confidence interval include 1, it means this study is no association study. If it include 1, it means this study is non-significant. Do you understand it or not? Let me explain with another example. Suppose you are doing meta-analysis to know whether a new drug lower BP or not, and your result is coming that new drug BP effect is 0.2 to 1.6. So when it is 0.2, it means when you take new drug, BP will be low, and 1.6, when you take new drug, BP will be high. So if the same medicine is lowering BP and increasing it also, it means the medicine is not related with BP. It is no association which is there. So if any line is crossing this odds ratio 1 thing, this is showing no association. 1 is showing positive association, 2, 3 are showing negative association, 4th line is showing no association. So this plot is forest plot, and we draw it also in meta-analysis. In systematic review, we will not combine the data, we will only combine the theoretical result. But in meta-analysis, we combine theory and data both. With the help of meta-analysis and funnel plot, you can summarize the result. In your PG, you will do research, and even now, if in your college some research is occurring and you are reading some research, all the meta-analysis, you need not to read the whole meta-analysis, just go to the last page. In the last page, you will see the forest plot. By looking at the forest plot, you can tell how many study are useful positive association, how many are negative association, how many are useless study no association. So forest plot and funnel plot help us to summarize the result. Okay, and there is one more role here. Funnel plot, I will tell one more. This is a big problem with funnel plot. The problem is that if I draw a funnel plot, and in the funnel plot, suppose you are searching any study. Let's say you are searching eating grass increase IQ or not. Okay, so if you are searching it, study on effect of grass on IQ. Mostly the problem is, if you are searching by Google on it, and some study is showing that yes, eating grass increase your IQ, only then the study will get published. If a study is showing that eating grass do not increase IQ, no one will publish it. So whatever you will Google, more likely you will get only positive result. Why? Because all the magazine, they publish the study only with positive result. They do not publish those study which has negative result. So if you got a funnel plot, this is example of a funnel plot, and in this funnel plot, we are comparing two different study, है ना? We are combining two study which was done on effect of grass on IQ, and you found that both the both the study are showing positive association. So this funnel plot is looking something like this, one-sided funnel. And this funnel plot, what it is showing? It is showing publication bias. What is publication bias means? Publication bias simply means that only those study get published which show positive result. So that is why whatever you search, you will get positive result for that. This is a big problem with meta-analysis and systematic review. So how to remove publication bias? To remove publication bias, you should not only search for published study, you should also search for abstract. What is abstract? Abstract is a 3-4 line summary, paragraph summary, which all the researcher give to magazine first. When the abstract get approved, then the whole study is taken by the magazine for publication. So abstract can be accepted by magazine, can be rejected by magazine. If you are searching for abstract, then you can find that there were 3 studies who showed that grass do not increase IQ, but because they were not published, so you were unable to find it in the initial study. When you search for abstract also, this abstract will tell you that yes, there were many studies which were showing negative result. How you came to know about it? By searching for abstract. So these 3 studies are showing negative association, and you came to know about this 3 study when you search for abstract. So how can you remove selection bias, publication bias? You can remove publication bias by searching for abstract. If you search for abstract, those studies which were not published, then you can find the study with negative report also, and you can remove publication bias. So this is a funnel plot. When it has negative, positive, both type of study, then it's a good meta-analysis, good meta-analysis. But if only positive result you can see, it means that meta-analysis is not done well. They have not searched for unpublished study, unpublished abstract, and that is showing publication bias. So if there are dots only on one side, publication bias. Dots on both sides, it's a good meta-analysis. Is it clear to all of you? Yes, I hope it is clear. If not, feel free to ask. Dr. Mirza has a question, sir. Will we call positive association when the result is good or result is as expected? No. Positive association we say when, let's say, you are giving some medicine to make person happy. You are giving some antidepressant drug. And when someone took your drug, serotonin level increased. So drug taken, serotonin level increased. This is positive association. Both are in the same direction. This is positive association. Negative association, like antihypertensive medicine. You are giving the medicine and BP will decrease. This is negative association. So positive or negative association depend on the direction. If they are in the same direction, positive association. Opposite direction, negative association. Okay. So it's done nothing to do with our desirability of research. It is the direction of association which is there. Abstract. Sutapa is saying, what is abstract? Abstract means 5-6 line summary of the study which you send to magazine people. Before sending the full study, you send 4-5 line summary. In that summary, you will write methodology, final result, what came and why you did the study, 4-5 line. So abstract will tell that grass has no effect on increasing IQ. But if grass has no effect of increasing IQ, then magazine will reject your abstract. So usually abstract tell the dark truth, correct thing. But magazine do not want to publish those studies which are saying that there is no association. So they will reject those studies and they will try to publish those studies which are saying that grass is increasing IQ. So if you are searching for abstract also, you can find those studies which were saying that grass is not increasing IQ, and then you will have the complete picture that 2 studies say yes, it increases IQ, 3 unpublished abstract state that there was no association. So to get the full picture, we should always search for unpublished abstract. Abstract are 5-6 line summary given by researcher to the magazine people, telling what is the result, what is the method by which I did the study. Okay. I hope it is clear, Sudhapa. Please let me know. Mirza is saying, okay, sir, thank you so much. Sanskar is also clear. Anand Krishnan is also clear. And we have done everything in the topic of epidemiological concepts, epidemiological studies. But there is a topic of epidemiological concept which we should also learn. But after this epidemiological study topic, first we will read some communicable, non-communicable disease topics in our next sessions. Then we can go to epidemiological concept maybe after that. If you have anything you want to study next, feel free. You can message me anything you find not clear. You can message me any question which you found on any question bank or any previous year question. Feel free, share it with me. I will try to answer all your doubt and clear it. I hope you all have my number. I have written it many times already in my previous session. But rather than messaging me on my phone number, it's much better if you will message me on this SUSHRUTA batch Telegram group of PW Meded. Because if you message it me on the Telegram group, then I will be forced to reply quickly. If you message me WhatsApp and suppose I am taking that class on that day, so I may reply you the next day. But I will try to reply as soon as possible. Feel free, ask your doubt or any personal issues if you have. You are free to talk with me. I will try to listen to you, and by listening, I can help in solving many of your issue. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will meet in the next session. And last question with Sanskar Sarma is asking, sir, rare cases are studied by case control or cohort? Rare cases can be studied by case control, cohort, both. But case control is easy to do for rare disease. Because in case control, you take past history. And in 1 week, you can take past history studies done. But in cohort, you need to follow them up. It is very time taking. So for rare disease, we can do both type of study. But case control is easy to do for rare disease. Okay. I hope Sanskar it is clear. If not, feel free and ask it to me in the SUSHRUTA batch Telegram group of PW Meded. Thank you so much. Hasta la vista, dasvidanya. I hope you have learned new thing and enjoyed this session. We will see you again next session. Till then, bye bye. Good night. Thank you so much.